What's up, everybody? We're going to talk a little bit today about bar muscle up efficiency and some things that you can do to be more efficient at bar muscle ups. Now, a lot of this video, or the majority of this video, is going to assume that you already can do a bar muscle up. Maybe you're just kind of squeaking over the bar, you can barely get one, you can't really string some together. We're going to go over a couple efficiency tips in the movement, as well as some movements you can do to train to get a little bit better at the bar muscle up. All right, so the first thing we're going to take a look at is a good bar muscle up. So when you're performing the bar muscle up, remember this is a core to extremity movement. The momentum is going to be driven from your hips to help get your body or your chest and your torso up over the top of the bar. So we want to get a nice kip going and then get a fast turnover of the hip. You're almost, I think of throwing my hips up towards the ceiling, then finishing by pulling with my arms to get my body up over the pull-up bar, right? From there, it's just a dip out at the top. So we want to establish a really good kip, fast hip turnover, and we're waiting to pull our arms until a majority of our momentum has shot up into that core to extremity or into the end of our hands to pull ourselves up over the bar. All right, so when we look at a good bar muscle up, the things that I like to focus on and the things that I want to focus on today are that fast turnover of the hip and then waiting to pull with the arms before you get your chest over the bar, right? So waiting to pull with your arms, waiting for that fast turnover of the hip, and then bending at the arms, flexing at your elbow to pull your body up towards the bar. That's gonna maximize your efficiency, right? The more that we use our big movers, our hips, our glutes, to shoot our body weight up above the bar, the more efficient we're gonna be. Smaller muscles are gonna tire out faster. The more you just use your arms to get your chest over the bar at the top, the more you're gonna fatigue quicker. All right, when we take a look at a bad muscle up, there's two things that I want to cue in on, or not necessarily a bad one, but a less efficient muscle up are one, there usually is no hip turnover. So someone will get a nice big hip swing, but then not turn over their hips and throw their body weight with their hips up over the bar. They'll kind of leave a closed hip, so they'll almost stay in that hollow position while they kind of muscle themselves up with just their arms. So if you're missing that portion of it, you're definitely going to be less efficient because you're using a smaller muscle group to try to do all the work. You're just using your biceps, your back to get your chest up over the bar and lock out at the top. The other thing is that a lot of people will bend their arms or start to pull with their arms too quickly. Usually the closed hip or no turnover of the hip and the early pull with the arms kind of go hand in hand, right? So an early pull with the arms, you have to think of it just like a clean and jerk or a snatch. When the arms bend, the power ends. Right? The power from your hips, the power you're trying to generate with your body to get that bar muscle up is gone as soon as you start pulling with your arms. So we want to make sure that we're waiting with a nice straight arm till we get good hip turnover. We can feel that momentum rocket up through our chest and then finish by pulling our body up over the bar with our arms. A couple of movements that you can do to gain that efficiency, to gain some of that core strength and practice some of that momentum or that hip turnover and all that good stuff that helps get your body up over the bar. One I like is strict toe to bar. If you can't do a strict toe to bar, you're going to do a strict hanging knee raise, right? So those two movements are going to look like this. So all I'm trying to do there is develop my midline, develop my core a little more. That's going to help give you a stronger kip and also give you a good hollow position on that push down with the shoulder and squeeze down with the midline. Another movement that you need to do to get better at bar muscle up, specifically the bar muscle up, is going to be GHD sit-ups. GHD sit-ups are going to wax your midline unlike probably any other piece of equipment can. The strict toe to bar and hanging knee raise are a great substitute if you don't have one. But again, the fatigue in the core is what's really going to kill you on bar muscle ups, in the sense that once your midline is gone and you just try to start using your arms, you're going to burn out really quick and you're not going to be able to get back up on that bar to complete another rep. So developing a good midline by using the GHD and doing GHD sit-ups is another great way that you can become more efficient doing bar muscle ups. Last but not least, another thing that you can use to help get better at bar muscle ups is going to be gymnastics grips. Use it as a tool, not as a crutch. Right, but get any old gymnastics grips. I've got Bear Complex grips. I've been using those for a while. They work really well. And I don't like putting my fingers through the holes with these, specifically for one reason. If I jump up and throw enough of the strap over the pull-up bar, it will actually catch more weight to rest on my wrist rather than in the palm of my hand. Okay, so my grip is much less likely to burn out when that happens. So what it's gonna look like when I do that, if we come over to the pull-up bar real quick. So I'm gonna jump a little bit extra high, and then I'm gonna emphasize throwing the straps over, and that's gonna get this bottom half of the strap tucked around the pull-up bar, not this middle part. All right? So once I'm set in here, I can feel a majority of the weight resting on my wrist, okay? It's gonna give me a whole lot of grip, so you're gonna negate kind of your grip slipping, and as well as you're not gonna fatigue on your grip as well to the point where you have to let go of the bar. If you can string together more reps by not fatiguing in your grip, you become more efficient. All right, another technique drill that you can do that's gonna focus on that hip turnover as well as pulling your body around the bar, right? We're not doing a pull-up, we're doing a bar muscle-up, right? So you're gonna put a barbell in a rack, bring it to right about your belly button height, maybe a little lower, right about waist height, and I'm gonna get my hands just outside of shoulder width like I would for a bar muscle-up or a pull-up. Feet are gonna be just in front of that bar, and what I'm gonna focus on is two things. I'm gonna press my feet into the floor to simulate that hip turnover, keeping my arms straight, and then I'm gonna finish by pulling my body around the bar quickly. Okay, important to note, I'm keeping my feet well within contact of the floor. I don't have this locked from being able to slide forward, so I would definitely do that. You can loop a couple bands around here, something like that. Just use caution when using a barbell on the rig like this. You don't want to spring forward and have it jump out of the rack, so it's probably smart to lock it down a little bit. But again, you're practicing those two things. Feeling your glute squeeze, feeling that hip turnover, and then pulling your body kind of out and around the bar, not just straight chest into the bar, so that you can get your sternum or your torso up over top. Now the other thing that I forgot to mention at the start of this drill is that you also want to think about that wrist rotation from being below the bar to on top of the bar. It goes along the same lines as saying we want our body to go out and around the bar, and part of that reason is so that we can create the space to rotate our wrist to being on top of the bar from being below it, right? Again, you're not just pulling your chest to the bar where the wrist stays down below. You actually have to rotate that hand, rotate that base of support up above the bar so that you can land in a bottom of a dip position. Same goes for the rings as it does for the bar. A little bit of a different animal with the rings, but you want to be able to practice those three things. Hip turnover, right? Pushing your feet into the floor, looping your body around the bar, and jumping your wrists up over on top of the bar at the top. Now it's definitely going to be something that helps out if, let's say, you can get a muscle up but you're not practicing that fast turnover, or you can't get a bar muscle up at all. This is a great place to start. Start with the bar on the rack, practicing the movement, breaking down the basics, and making sure you're good at those before you go over to the pull-up bar. All right, if there's anything else that you guys want to see done for skills and drills, efficiency tips, throw it down in the comments below. Remember to like, subscribe, turn on those notifications, and we'll see you next time.
Dream big, 'cause boy, you're gonna make it. Stand tall, there's a higher road you're taking. Let go of everything that you know and be wild in the mystery. Yeah. I've been in the darkness for 40 days. I've been searching for holy flames, a sign to light up the way. So can you help me out? Can you help me out? I've been more certain of truth before. I've been called a righteous man before. Yeah, I've been closer to Jesus before. So can you help me out? Oh, can you help me out? Am I on my own? Am I on my own? Or can you help me out? Am I